Yeah,
Yo, yo, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you clear.
All right, maybe that's the issue. Going back to the album, what do you remember most about the sessions?
Um, what do I remember most? I think just the community, of people that we had. Um, the thing about when we made albums, whether it was a Little Brother album, it was anybody in the Justice League, a Legacy album, or even when Boot Camp came down, so Sean Price album, Smith and Wesson, or um, Murs album, like any albums that got made during that time, it was like a group effort. We were all there, we were all around, we were all in the mix, we were all contributing in some shape, form, or fashion, and so that was it, man. We had a lot of fun. I mean, little brother sessions were a little bit closed, as opposed to some of the other ones, but it was still a group effort, a community effort, and we just had, yeah, collaborative effort. There you go. Couldn't think of the word. Collaborative effort, and we just had a lot of fun, just working, man. It was just we were young, when we was working on the Minstrel show, I was 24, 25 years old. You know what I mean? So it was
Right.
just a lot of fun, a lot of learning, and it wasn't nothing serious. We didn't record in a big fancy studio, and like we took a little office, and we had our own equipment in it, computer, mic. We had the foam, the mattress foam, like the little yellow joint that people get when they go to college. We had that surrounding the mic, and that was our booth. So it was just a good time, man, and real laid back atmosphere, and we just went to work.
Dope. I want to play like 15 to 20-second parts of some of this album. And if you could take us back to maybe some things we don't know, or just your thoughts, if you agreed with this song, didn't like that song, if it was your favorite
Mm-hmm.
song, just take us back to 2005, and I'm going to go back to Welcome to the Minstrel Show.
Okay.
You are watching UBN. You Black News Network, Channel 94, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill.
Can you take us back to that intro?
I wasn't even there when that intro got recorded. I heard it after it was done. You know, Me and Tay talked about this before, but he was really the brains of, the album, as far as, just bringing the whole concept together, and from top to bottom. Like he was the producer, you know what I'm saying, in essence. And that was one of them things. Once we decided we was going to make it like a TV show, obviously a TV show need theme music. And
Right.
he just went in, him and Yazaver went in, and they got loose. A lot of, at that time, things were, skits and certain things that were done, like I wasn't even there for. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't a studio rat. I'm still not a studio rat, but I definitely wasn't a studio rat then. It was more, for me, it was more come in, do what I need to do, hang around for a little bit to see if I need to do anything else, and then I'm gone. I'm out the door. I'm in the
Right.
club, I'm at the party, I'm, cook out at my crib, whatever it was. Like I was out of there. So a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the skits, the intros, the outro, a lot of that stuff, it got done, when I wasn't even present. That was just Tay in there going for it.
Right. Let's go into Beautiful Morning.
And another one, and another one. It's so gorgeous. It's another beautiful day in North Carolina, y'all. Y'all should really be here to see it. You know what I'm saying? The beast is pumping out the system. Big doors on the couch, drinking ginger ale. Big pulls in the eyes to a new day, spread my wings, taking shots of the crowd, cause I'm going through things. Everybody got their hands out looking for rain. Coattails getting heavy, cause I'm living.
Take us back to Beautiful Morning.
Beautiful Morning. That's actually a concept I came up with. that was actually Tay and I. We had been recording for like probably almost a month. We had got into a disagreement over a particular song that didn't end up making the album, and during that time, he basically was like, "Yo, will you and Knife, y'all handle it. Come up with the ideas, the concepts, or whatever for songs, and let me know what it is." And so I remember being at Ninth House, and he was making beats. And at the time, it was a couple years after, but at the time, Prodigy's album HNIC had was out, and I was really still vibing with the album. And there was a song on there. I can't remember the name of the song right now, but it was a song on there that he had, and it was him and I think Big Twins was on that song. It was somebody else was on that song.
Just
And
Another Day.
Just Another Day. There you go. And I love that song. Like I used to play that song religiously. You know what I'm saying? And I told Knife, I said, "Yo, I want to make something like this. I want it to feel like this. Like I want us to tell a story, and it's two separate perspectives, two separate vantage points, but the story connects." Right. And so, when I told him my idea, he came up with that beat, and I started the song off and passed it off to Tay. He was like, "Yo, this is what I got. This is what I got. You know what I mean? This is what I did." So that's where that song came from, man. That was just me, really trying to step up and take, some type of lead on what we were doing. And that was one of that and was Not Enough. No, not enough. Slow It Down. That and Slow It Down and Hiding Place came out of that period of time when we weren't really, we weren't recording at all. And
right.
And so those three songs are what came out of that time period.
Let's jump into The Becoming.
I went from niggas telling me I really shouldn't rhyme to dropping the classic album motherfuckers couldn't find. Took my respect, took lessons, and took the time. And if you want a success story, just take a look at mine. I was blessed with the right components, so precise, cause I write so tight within the moment. It's been like my life depended on it.
Take us back.
That song, that was actually, I believe that was the first song that was recorded for the Minstrel Show.
Okay.
I was there. I was actually at that session, even though I'm not on the song. I was at that session, and I remember the one thing Tay and I always, well, at the time we wanted to do was show, do solo songs within the group album to show our different sides of what we brought to the table. And that was, he had the idea, he had the beat, he had the idea for it, and he came, like I said, that was the first song recorded. He laid it down. That joint it was dope. Like it kind of set the tone for what we was trying to do for the album.
Right. This next one's one of my favorites, Not Enough.
One time for your mind, one time for your mind. Check it. I'm really at a loss of words, man. I don't know what else I can say. I mean, no beats, no rhymes. Hip hop ain't really that hard, man. I'm doing what I can do, man. What else y'all want, We spent the last year writing rhymes, doing shows and chopping records, and traveled all around the world.
Take us back to that cut.
That record, that was a song, man. That was the frustration that we had with people trying to tell us what we should or shouldn't be doing as far as trying to get on the radio or, become huge stars. And we were dead set on doing what we wanted, doing, making the music that we felt, and we didn't want to compromise. Like that was our thing. Our whole thing was like, we not compromise. We not compromising for radio. We not compromising for anything. We're gonna make the music that we feel that we want to make. And we knew where we wanted to go and how we wanted to sound and how we wanted people to look at us. And so that was that song, just telling them like, we still working hard. We doing everything we can do, and it ain't enough for y'all because it ain't what y'all comfortable with or what y'all familiar with.
Right.
So that's kind of what that song was about. Just even though we're giving our all for other people, it just our all was never enough.
Going to cheating.
We've been together for so long. I just don't know why you continue to do me the way you want to do me. I checked your cell phone and I saw a number I don't know he called on there. So something tells me your mama done changed the number. Or you cheat.
Is this song inspired by R. Kelly and Ronald Isley?
Probably. That was another one of them. I wasn't there when he did it, and it probably was best that I wasn't, or hardly nobody was there when he did it, just for the simple fact, when Tay got into the Percy character, you had to call him Percy. You had to, he was really him. Like it wasn't him, doing it in and out of like when he got into the character, And the thing about Tay is that he's very good at imitating artists. And so, he's done it since I've known him. And so he just really, when he went in, he wanted to make a joint sound like Ron Isley. And so that was the thing. And it was trust me, when he played it, when I heard, because he didn't tell anybody he was doing it.
Right.
So when he did it and we heard it, it was just like, yo, this is crazy. And the crazy thing about that song is Atlantic wanted to make that a single.
Wow.
Like, they wanted to put out as a single, but we were like, hell nah. Because then that's what we would have became. And
right.
it was like, nah, you're gonna put out one of our regular records. Like, quote, little brother, quote unquote, isn't even on that record. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you're not putting out no Percy Miracle single and having that be our single, and we're not even on that record. Like, y'all rabbit ass mind. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that was the thing with that, man. I mean, it's a crowd favorite, it's a fan favorite, it's everybody loves it, but it was just really Tay has this knack for taking inside jokes that we have and turning them into skits, like making them jokes come to life as skits. Like, he has a knack for that, and this was one of them times.
No. Hiding Place, featuring Elzai.
Yeah. Rapper. JP. Elzai. Fonte. Another little brother presentation. Come sending this out across the nation. I'm a hell of a problem. Nobody has the answer. Pooh, we spread it out like a body of cancer. My stanza, get it going like.
Oh, you snapped on that one.
I appreciate it, man. That record, like I said, that's one of them records that came about when me and Tay were, on our recording hiatus during that time. And I remember me and Big Doe was at Ninth House, and he made the beat. Like, he was making the beat live. And as soon as he finished, and I was like, yo, we need that. Like, we need that type of energy on the album, because we had nothing like that on the album. And that's more my speed. Like, that's where I'm at with it. So, he was like, yo, you think so? And I'm like, yeah, we need that. So once we really got back in the swing of recording, like, Tay was like, yo, yeah, nah, this joint sound cool. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, bro, we need that. Like, I need that in my life. So the idea came about to do a joint featuring Elzai and Dilla. And for those that don't know, that's why I say Dilla's name in the beginning. A lot of people thought I said his name because he did the beat, but that's Ninth on the production. So the original idea was me and Dilla was supposed to split a verse. Then obviously Tay and Elzai split a verse. Reached out to Dilla. Dilla told us reach out to his management. Shit kind of got lost in translation, fell apart at that moment. Elzai was in town. He came through. So when I did my verse first I'm on the track with two monsters. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I gotta come with my A+++ game. And the idea was we were still trying to pursue to get Dilla on the album, but the idea was like, all right, Pooh, you do your verse, and then if we actually get Dilla, then you can go back in and break your verse up, and so y'all can go back and forth. And Tay and Els, I did theirs, but getting Dilla never happened. But we were able to play it for him. We did. It was the first Rock the Bells in Anaheim, and J-Lib was performing. And I never forget, it was my first time meeting Dilla. I went to the side of the stage when they were performing, and he walked off stage in the middle of they set to dap me up. And then our trailers ended up being next to each other. So when we were all done, we were back there and we went over to their trailer, and we got to play him the record. And he was just sitting in there like, yo, this shit crazy. And I'm just like, yo, we really, wanted you on it. Like, we still got time because we weren't done with the record, with the album at that time. That's also what we ended up running into Chris Hardwick to get him on the album. But we weren't done with the album. We was like, yo, man, we really still want you on it. He's like, yo, we see what's up. We see what's up. But, unfortunately, it never happened. I actually put it in my post today. That's, one of the regrets I have about this album is us not pushing hard enough to make sure Dilla was a part of the project. But
Yeah, that would have definitely been crazy.
Yeah, so that's hiding place.
So let's go to Slow It Down.
Hey, slow man shit right here. Take it slow. Listen, I'm trying to man up, see what's really good with you. Gentleman's approach, not bringing hood to you. Same things that you hear every day, like, hey, ma, hey, fool, baby, what's your name? Please put up a seat, I'm so glad.
Take us back to Slow It Down.
The third song out of the songs that came
Right.
about during the break. But so the song that started, or got us off track, I'll say, was a song. It was a song about relationships or whatever. And my argument was that I felt it sounded too close or too similar to not All For You, for Nobody But You, off of the Listening. And so that's what started the disagreement. And so once again, I'm at Ninth House and he's working on beats, and I hear this one. And I'm telling him as he's, making beats, I'm like, yo, we need a joint. If it's going to be about relationships or the quote unquote girl joint, like, it needs to be from a more mature perspective. Like, we're a couple years, like 2 years, older. Like, we need to change the perspective of the type of record we're making. Right. And so, he pulled out the David Ruffin sample, and, he got the chopping and adding drums and stuff. And I took the beat home and I wrote my first verse. And I ended up sending it to Tay, and I was like, yo, I think this is the type of relationship or girl joint that we need for the album. And I was like, I didn't have a hook idea at the time. I just knew the direction, a more, mature direction than how we approached relationships, male-female relationships on the first album. And so I sent it to him, and he ended up hitting me back and was like, yo, I fuck with this joint. And he cooked up the hook, then he did his verse, and then we came and, combined for the last verse, and there it is, Slow It Down.
No doubt.